And now we're gonna move on to our next topic. We're gonna get into some of the injustice that's been going on in America. And we're gonna start off with the shooting of Jacob Blake. Just to give you some facts, in Kenosha, Wisconsin, on August 23rd, Jacob Blake, a 29-year-old man with three sons who were in the car at the time of the incident, was shot 7 times in the back by police as he was walking away from the police vehicle, from the police group. Mr. Blake walked around a gray SUV, opens the car door, and leans inside. The officer grabs the tank top he was wearing and shoots him from behind 7 times. An officer was heard saying, "Drop the knife," but it isn't clear if Mr. Blake was holding anything. The story is that officers were attempting to arrest Mr. Blake after a woman called police and said her boyfriend was present and not supposed to be on the premises. After the police officer, named Rustin Shesky, unsuccessfully used a stun gun, a second officer, Vincent Arenas, used his stun gun as well. That's when Mr. Blake walked around his car to open the front door. Shesky was the only officer who fires his weapon, and Mr. Blake admitted to have a knife in his possession after the shooting. Now that's the story of the investigators from the police side. The attorneys for Mr. Blake said that he did not have a weapon. They also stated that he was helping to de-escalate the situation between two women who were fighting when the officers initially used the stun guns on him. When Mr. Blake was walking away from the police to check on his young sons in the car, that's when the police shot him. So there's some conflicting parts of this situation. There is video, but it does not say or does not show what happened before or what led up to the shooting. The Department of Justice is conducting a civil rights investigation into the shooting. There was a warrant for his arrest filed for Mr. Blake's arrest filed in Wisconsin in July on charges of criminal trespass, domestic abuse, and third-degree sexual assault. But Mr. Blake's father states that the warrant had since been vacated. Mr. Blake went through surgery and at least one bullet went through his spinal cord, leaving him paralyzed. He suffered liver and kidney damage with holes in his stomach. His colon and small intestine were removed. He was also shot in the arm. He is in the ICU, but is stable and will need more surgeries. Despite being paralyzed, he had been restrained with his leg by handcuffs to his hospital bed. They have since released that restraint from him, and I only believe after some outcry about that happening. So my question to you guys are the cops justified for shooting him?
Well, no. I don't care whether you had a warrant that was on him prior or whether you had, if it's something that was vacated. I don't even care if he was there causing trouble. The fact is, when you arrive at the scene and you're trying to detain someone, if you are trying to detain anyone, looking at that video, you would see that the police officers dropped the ball, totally dropped the ball on this. They first of all said, "Oh, you know what?" Well, I don't even know what they said because they haven't said anything because everybody's been trying to get them to say something or release something, and they're keeping quiet. They said it's under investigation by the district attorney. So I guess we're going to have to wait for those facts. But looking at the video, what baffles me is this gentleman, and I want to say gentleman because I don't know, the whole character of Jacob Blake or anything like that. But from looking at what was happening, it looked like he was coming around from the video that was put out there. He was coming around his vehicle. If you come from the passenger rear side of an SUV and you walk around all the way to the driver's side and count the number of steps for an average SUV size like that. These are the things that I look at, especially when I'm in my line of work is insurance, and I look around, I examine vehicles all the time. When you count the number of steps, normal steps for anyone to walk around the vehicle, and you have the gun pointed at him the whole time, open up the door, and then you decide to take not one shot, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but 7 shots in the back of a guy. that is walking away from you, and you had to pull him close to you to shoot him point blank.
Hey, and I know we're all gonna talk, but I feel like we should all kind of honestly, and we should all kind of maybe interject in here and bring our little points.